Welcome to Your Feature Presentation, the podcast where we bring you the latest and greatest movies in pop culture. Today we're talking about a bunch of fun stuff. It's been a while since we've done an episode. My name is Heath Fall, and joining me is my friend
Andrew McKay.
Andrew McKay. We did some live streaming for the past couple weeks. We
It
did
was
some
great.
Alien Earth after shows. Yeah, that was pretty fun. I was enjoying it. Definitely have never done anything like that before, and it was daunting. It was weird. It's different than just hitting record. It's like
Mm-hmm.
we're live. You can't mess this
Yeah.
up, right?
Yep. Yeah. It was a really good time. If you didn't catch any of those and you like Alien Earth or the Alien franchise, check out some of our episodes on that. They're posted. All the live stuff is posted, so you can go back and give it a listen or watch.
Yeah, the Alien Earth, all the live episodes. We did episode, I believe it was 4 through 8
I think so.
live. So we did like 1 and 2, and then we kind of jumped around a bit. But yeah, if you are interested, I would say check us out on Spotify for those because they're a little more
Mm-hmm.
polished. It's still a one cut, but I was able to kind of put through some audio stuff on it as well. So it's a little bit better audio visual quality, but still a fun time regardless. Alien Earth. Most people who are listening to this that left us for a while. I saw you on Spotify. There's a few people that left us. Um, just a quick rundown. I think it was a really good show, but really dropped off the finale. Is there anything
Yeah.
you want to say about it before we put Alien Earth to
That's
bed?
ultimately that's it. I think it's probably the last TikTok that I have made for our channel about Alien Earth until new Alien stuff comes out. Was me saying that the show was not bad. Some people reacted so negatively to the finale because it did not satisfy that they're saying the show is bad as a whole. And I deeply disagree. It was a very entertaining show, and I think it was a positive addition to the Alien franchise. Was the last episode not what I wanted and not what I expected? Totally. I just needed 40 more minutes. It wasn't that what happened was bad and didn't make sense. What didn't make sense to me is that it was over. And the answers that I was looking for from episode 1 literally never got to me. I never got those. So realistically, it's a small qualm. It was an emotional experience at the finale to be a negative one, but the show as a whole was a win for the franchise, in my opinion. So
Yeah. I mean, yeah, we talk about, franchises. This was the first TV show from anything Alien Predator world, right?
yeah,
And I think it was super fun. I love the characters, and it's interesting. They said originally that they were planning for like 2 to 3 seasons, and it's still not been confirmed. I misspoke before we did our live. It's not been confirmed that they've been greenlit for a season 2.
still waiting.
Yeah, Noah Hawley
Okay.
is said he's ready, and he's like got the next 2 seasons ready to go, but we
Mm-hmm.
just don't know. It's all about how many people watched it, and I think that's kind of all that matters, to be honest. I feel like if it made a bunch of money, even if it's bad, they make another
Yeah,
one.
yeah,
But
truly.
I think this was fairly well received. It was super fun talking about it. It was definitely got me Star Wars
Yeah.
vibes because I couldn't think of any other show that I like to talk about that much. There's a lot of shows that you're like, oh, that was really good. I mean, like
Mm.
Yellowstone. I talked about how much I really enjoyed the first few seasons of Yellowstone, but I didn't want to have a podcast about it afterwards.
Right.
But it's fun to have something like this that you can talk about.
Yeah, I totally agree. The fan community online was really fun to engage with. All the theories and conversations, so made it worth it. It was good.
Yeah. Well, speaking of Alien, we're moving on from Alien Earth, and we're talking about the Alien Romulus sequel,
Yes.
which is a bit of a falsehood because it's just the next one. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
there's been so many Alien movies, but to kind of it's going off of that storyline, so it makes sense to call it Romulus sequel. But
Mm-hmm.
okay, so there's no Fede Alvarez who directed Alien Romulus. He is not directing. He is producing and he co-wrote the script. So this is an intentional step back for him. He doesn't want to direct it for some reason,
Mm-hmm.
and they're looking for a director. So I think that's an interesting move. How do you feel about that?
I feel really good. I think this is something that the franchise does really well. Most of the fans enjoy diversity, whether it's writing or directing, cinematography, or straight up genre changes. The shift from Alien to Aliens, if you're not accustomed to the franchise and what it does, is very jarring. You go from sci-fi horror, there's one monster and everyone slowly dies, to action adventure James Cameron, shoot 'em up, it's Marines in space killing xenomorphs constantly, right? That's a big shift, but the fan base loves that. It always has roots tied into horror, and that's what you need. But I love that Fede Alvarez is taking a step backwards, saying that I still love this franchise and I want to be involved, but I don't need to be the captain at the helm. Someone else can bring something fresh and new to this. To be honest, just like he did. What he brought to Romulus was exactly what I needed as a fan. So
Yeah.
I'm hopeful for the future. I respect him as a creative, as a writer, and the fact that Ridley Scott and Fede are producing and involved in that process is comforting and encouraging. So
Yeah. I liked Romulus a lot, but I'm okay with this move, especially because it's a controlled, it's not a, difference of opinion. I'm leaving the show.
yeah,
And to me, he's a director that I want to say this carefully, but like it wasn't that amazing to where I have to have him back.
yeah. Like if Denis Villeneuve was like, I'm not going to finish my Dune trilogy,
Yeah.
I would weep sad tears.
Right.
I need that.
Now, it's interesting that you say that because I 100% agree. But then if you had said something like Denis Villeneuve is not going to direct a Blade Runner 2049 sequel, I would be okay with
Yeah,
that. It's just one of those
totally.
things where it's like there's some directors like that's their thing and I want more of that as possible. So keep giving me those. But then even series, I mean, the original Star Wars movies had 3 different directors.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if as long as there's people around them that are controlling it, I think it's okay, and it's kind of fun to have different directors. You get different flavors.
Yeah. Yeah, I
It's
think
the
we'll
it's
be.
the Neapolitan of of trilogy.
Don't compare to the worst ice cream.
You don't like
Oh,
Neapolitan?
no, I hate Neapolitan.
I
I
as a
think,
kid, I was such a vanilla ice cream
yeah,
fan, which is
yeah,
very boring. I get it, but I would always, when I was offered Neapolitan, I would only eat the vanilla out
yeah.
of that, which is just like vanilla that kind of tastes like a little bit like chocolate and a little bit like
Yes,
strawberry.
these
So
are
it's
touching.
not a great, not a great experience for me. But
Oh, that's so funny. Wow.
all
All
right,
right. Speaking of horror, we're shifting gears. Welcome to Derry.
before we shift, that's where we're going. But I want to take this moment to enjoy this, Andrew,
Oh,
because
okay.
this is the first time we have not talked about Alien or an Alien series for like 6 weeks. We're moving on to a different
Different
topic.
topic.
And I'm very excited about that.
Wow.
I loved our time, but like we're going to talk about a different show right now.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Do
You know
that.
what? Here's to you.
Hey, Sigronatima.
Hmm. See.
That's Chandrillan, obviously.
For Cerveza Cristo.
That meme lives on. I get one of those probably every 5 or 6 weeks.
Good.
I get a Cerveza Cristo reel or TikTok. So fun.
Yeah.
All right.
Cool.
Here we are.
Ben.
Mr. Frodo, I take one more step, and I'm the furthest I've ever been from alien Earth. Welcome to Derry is a very exciting and anticipated by me and most people who are smart TV show series coming out October 26th. If you're familiar with It, this is a prequel to It chapters 1 and 2, which were from 2016 and 17, 2018. I think it was 16, 17. However, prequel, we're getting a lot of really cool, interesting backstory on Pennywise. So Skarsgård is coming back for the role of Pennywise. I believe that's the only returning actor role so far. We've got some new kids. Classic. Pennywise has to be tormenting children. So we've got some new kids for him to do so. It takes place in the late 1950s into the 1960s. I'm really excited about it. Not only is it going back to Derry, which is such an interesting world, town, but we get some more insight into potentially the origin of Pennywise as a creature, I think, which would be really, really cool. Regardless, there's going to be 9 episodes, weekly releases, and I'm looking forward to it. The trailers look great. There's so many little Easter eggs, even just in the trailers, for the interconnectedness of Stephen King's universe. Heath, I don't know if you've seen the trailer.
No, I have not.
Oh, you haven't? So there's just one off the top that I can think of. He has this book called 11/22/63, where a guy goes back in time to stop the JFK assassination, and he goes to the town Derry in Maine, and he spends a few chapters there to do something, and he's like, this place is messed up. Everyone here is delusional, and the whole atmosphere is bad. And like the character is not a spiritual person, but he's like, there is evil here. And as soon as he drives out of Derry, it lifts off of him. He's like, I'm never going back to that town again. And so I just love that. I love that aspect of Stephen King. So,
Yeah, that's really cool.
Welcome to Derry coming out. I think it'll be a really good addition to the It chapters 1 and 2. I'm excited. Skarsgård's coming back, and that's all we need, really.
Yeah. I was gonna say, yeah, it's coming out, yeah, like you said, on Max, October 26th. It's gonna be, I saw some places say 9, some places said 8 episodes, but it looks like it is gonna be weekly again, which I know everyone has an opinion on that, but I like it. I'm okay with that because I feel like I can consume an episode weekly and it's fun to think about it and talk about it. Definitely if it fills our time. I think sometimes shows, when they're bingeable, they get away with the episodes not being that great because I get so much content. It's like, oh, over the past 3 hours of me watching a few episodes, it's good. But it's like, was episode 1 good? Was episode 2 good? You know?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm really excited about that. I'm also reading Pet Sematary for the first time right now for a
Very
spooky
cool.
October read. And they talk
Mhm.
about Derry in that book as well. Like that
Yep.
was my first introduction, realizing that a lot of Stephen King books, if not all of them, are connected. So that's pretty fun.
I
You
think
know,
that they all are, pretty sure. But
yeah,
yeah,
what
it's
what
great.
happened to Stephen King? You know, who hurt you,
Mm.
buddy? Who hurt you?
A lady named Derry.
Yeah, I don't want to. This kind of is a little spoiler for Pet Sematary, but it was interesting. The whole negative. I'll try to keep it light, spoiler, but basically
Mhm.
the really bad thing that happens in Pet Sematary. Stephen King talks about in the book that he experienced that and saved his child before that happened.
Yeah.
And he has this whole idea, like the book came from like what if, and then it just like this whole story came from it. I'm like, that is so crazy to me
Mm.
that it was so funny because literally in the book, he's like, or this introduction to the book, he's like, oh yeah, so I got the idea for a pet cemetery because I lived in this old house and my son like ran towards the road and I stopped him. And then I was like, oh man, that'd be terrible. What if? And then in the back of the house, there was a pet cemetery where all the kids had like buried their, I was like, you didn't write
Excuse me?
this. This is just your life. And this is the craziest story.
Dude, welcome to Stephen King books. We'll talk about this when we do an episode on it.
Yeah.
Every single character, every single main character is just himself.
Yeah.
It's just Stephen King. They're always an author or an English teacher, and they always struggle with alcoholism. Every single one.
Also, we'll talk about this more as well, but it was cracking me up that every two of the main male characters in Pet Cemetery justify going to a prostitute. And they're like, well, I did this and it's not a big deal. And it's like both of them had like, it's like, okay, Stephen King, do you want to Do you want to tell us something? It's like,
Exactly.
hey, sometimes men go to prostitutes. It's not that big a deal. I don't know
Yeah.
what you're
There's
talking
literally
about.
two guys right here saying it's not a big deal, so
It's
you need to
dude,
relax.
chill. It's fine. Uh,
Yeah.
so I'm really excited for the show. Definitely.
Yeah.
It's uh Jason and Faust and Brad Caleb Kane are the co-showrunners.
Hmm.
And yeah, like you said, Bill Skarsgård is Pennywise. So I we don't need anything more than that. I think I'm excited for this show. Perfect for kind of like Halloween time, and
Yeah, truly.
it's gonna be great. I think it's gonna really be really cool. And especially I love it when it's like a Max, like an HBO Max show that it has the budget behind it.
Yes. I'm so excited. All right. Moving on.
Moving on. So we had a whole episode on 28 years later.
Mm.
I finally watched it. um
Great.
and I'd love to talk about it because I loved the movie, and it was such a throwback to me of the zombie movie genre that like
Totally.
even Shaun of the Dead is a parody but also part of the genre, which is why I love Shaun of the Dead. I don't know if you know this, but I really like Shaun of the Dead.
You
Um
never said that before.
no, it's first time for everything. So but like Land of the Dead, Dawn of the Dead, like The Walking Dead, like all these kind of movies were just coming out at this time, all the Resident Evil movies. So like this was such a big part of like the 2000s, just like
Hmm.
zombie movies were just like had a resurgence. So I loved it for that. Um, Interesting takes, the 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 craziness of the ending
Yeah.
was insane. So, do you want to go spoilers or no spoilers? So it's
Yeah,
been
let's
out.
do it. It's been a long time.
Okay,
Hmm.
so it's available on streaming. So skip forward a couple minutes if you don't want spoilers for 28 years later. But it ends with just the kid and an insane like tracksuit ninjas
The
kill
Power Ranger
zombies,
posse.
Power Ranger
Yep.
posse to metal, and they just go insane. And there's kind of like, I don't know why. I guess the guy was wearing like crown and rings. I kind of got like Robin Hood vibes as well.
Yeah.
They were just like having the time of their lives, and they're like, "You can shoot. Should we jump in?" And I can't remember like how they end it, but it's basically that's the last scene. It's the craziest, strangest way to end a movie, especially with you saw this movie and had no idea there was another one coming.
Correct.
And it doesn't say that. It doesn't say at the end. It doesn't say it like in the credits. This is a part one and part two.
Yeah.
And it doesn't say that. Like they should have said that. They should have ended that movie and said part two, because part two is already filmed, wrapped, and coming out in January.
Yeah.
So
Less than 12 months.
yeah. And so it's like, this was definitely a part one and part two. I don't know why that wasn't marketed. Um, So it was crazy. So really enjoyed it coming in from, I knew this was going to be a cliffhanger. I knew we were getting a part two. But why don't you
Mhm.
tell us about your experience with thinking this was a one-off, no idea that there's going to be a sequel, let alone a year later.
Dude, yeah, so weird. I saw it. I went in really excited to finally get a wrap up for the other two movies. And that's not what I got. That's not what happened. It was a great movie. Loved the chaos. Loved a lot of the aspects about it. But it ended and I thought, that's not what I thought I was gonna get.
Yeah.
And I had to come to terms with it. I think you or someone online told me that there was a sequel that was being released very soon. And I was like, literally the same thing you're feeling or the same thing you were saying. If you had told me that at the end of the movie, I would have been like, oh, cool. Okay. Got it. It's very obvious. Like the movie closes and you're like, okay, there has to be another one. But I didn't know it was confirmed and filmed and created and set to release already. And so I was confused. I was like, man, that was they took a bet. Like they put all their chips down on the studio purchasing a second movie. And I thought it was a gamble, but it wasn't a gamble. They just planned that. So I thought that was funny. Um, Alfie Williams sticks out. I think that's his name, Alfie. Uh, Jamie's son. as an absolute star. He was great in the movie, and Aaron Taylor Johnson also was good. I didn't get as much Aaron Taylor Johnson in there as I thought we would, considering how big of a name that he is. But it was fine. Like it was a really entertaining movie, and I'm pumped to see how Bone Temple will wrap that little saga of, okay, this is 28 years, and we're gonna wrap up this section, I guess. So it'll be interesting.
Yeah, it's so the second one actually is written by our boy Alex Garland. The director is Nia DaCosta, and I'm assuming that was probably a lot of because the overlap. They're like, you got to keep going with this movie, and the director is doing other
Mm-hmm.
stuff. But it's interesting that Danny Boyle didn't direct the second one, so we'll see that. The actors, here's the crazy part. It's starring like Ralph Fiennes, Alfie Williams as Spike, and Aaron Taylor Johnson is not listed as like
Yeah.
a main character, which is I in all the like before I watched 28 Years Later, I assumed his character was going to die, and that's what kind of pushed like Spike on his own journey.
Yeah. Yeah.
But he's still fine, and it was an interesting kind of take. The movie is such a man. The first part of it, I'll just say some stuff that I love real quick, but the father son zombies with bow and arrows, just beautiful. Like
So cool.
it's awesome. It's intense, man. And just seeing like Danny Boyle does so well at making you feel those things because he'll just be like,
Mhm.
okay, let's focus. Like, let's see this. And then like you see the zombie like out of focus crawling behind and just like, oh man, that's intense. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and it's done so well. The deer cam footage, I call it, the red light of like what happened
Yeah.
beforehand
Yeah.
was done so well. And I love a movie too that it uses effects, visual,
Mhm.
music. It was such a vibe. It
It
wasn't
was
just like
such
pure.
a complete experience. Yeah.
Yeah. And which is
Every scene you were like, "Whoa, what's happening? This is new. This is different."
yeah.
Yeah.
And it's a bummer because I think you would have if you could have wrapped up the story at the end, I think it would have been one of my favorite zombie movies, honestly, because I loved it that
Oh,
much.
really?
But it
Mm-hmm.
was interesting that we basically got the huge slowdown into the bat crazy ending
Yes. Ramp up the last 5 minutes. Yeah.
that was clearly like starting a new thing. And it felt more like a series than a movie to me, especially that last part.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but so it was definitely unsatisfying, which is a bummer because I want a movie that's satisfying and you get a sequel. I think that's the dream.
Yeah.
Um,
I
but we're getting one in
I'm
January.
curious. Yeah, I'm curious what this experience will be like when we can watch 28 years later immediately into Bone Temple, because 28 years later is a sub 2 hour movie. That's almost not a movie, especially if your favorite movies are Lord of the Rings,
Yeah.
right? You just got warmed up halfway through, baby.
I haven't finished
So
making
I'm
my popcorn
interested.
yet.
Yeah, come on. I haven't had my second beer. Let's go. I'm interested to see what like one whole sit down watch of both of them would be like, because it will ramp hard into Bone Temple and it'll feel, I think, really great. So maybe when Bone Temple comes out, I'll watch 28 years later, get in the car and go see Bone Temple.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be really cool.
So,
Like do both on that same day. I think I will go see this. To me, it worked as a movie I want to see for sure. Like
mhm.
I really enjoyed the sequel, or sorry, the this first one, 28 years later, and getting excited about Bone Temple. This will be that being said, I have two young children, but if I'm able to, I will definitely go see this in theaters. I did not see the first one, but I'm like, I have to see this as soon as possible.
Yeah, I agree. All right. Shifting. Speaking of movies that are coming out, Batman. So
Always.
Matt Reeves, we all know that Heath loves new Batman movies, especially when they replace the actor. and they get someone else to do it. So
I love seeing
different people
Batman's
play the same
parents
guy.
die every single time. The Waynes. I almost said the
They're like,
Kents. I was confusing.
no way. His
Um,
parents died? You're kidding.
and sometimes it's the Joker that kills him. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's Negan and the other girl from The Walking Dead. Those are the parents, and that's
Oh,
crazy.
yeah.
So,
Wow.
no, I'm not. Say what you will. I'm just not a huge Batman fan. I've just
I
never.
know.
I like him, but I feel like a movie nerd as I am, people always assume it's like, well, you like Batman. It's just like part of the thing, right? Like, oh, you like Star Wars, you
Mm,
like Lord of the Rings, you like Batman. I'm like, not that much. The Dark Knight is phenomenal. 10 out of 10. I'm not saying I hate that stuff. I'm like,
sure.
I don't need another Batman movie.
But it's mostly Christopher Nolan that makes it 10 out of 10.
That's right. But Matt
So
Reeves Batman, I waited until
very
I
good.
wanted another one, and I agree.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
So hats off.
Well, here you go. Here's a reason to be more frustrated. Hats off. To be more frustrated with the whole Batman movie franchise. Matt Reeves' Batman movie is coming out 2026, I believe. It's filming this winter. In 2027 is the projection. Most likely 2028. James Gunn will release his DCU Batman movie with a different actor. And there will be two people at that moment playing Batman in two different universes in two ongoing series. Because Matt Reeves is not done after number 2, I guarantee it. 2026 we'll get his movie. 1 or 2, probably 1 or 1.5 years later, we'll get a new Batman, and there will be 2 ongoing stories. What? I know you hate that.
Stop. I hate it. Why?
Literally, what is the negative to getting Robert Pattinson into the DCU? Could the negative be, well, the character we've written is not for Robert Pattinson? I get it. If that is the case, Robert Pattinson is a very specific Batman. That's why he's my favorite. And if he doesn't fit the character that you want and the character that you've written into your story, then don't do it. But it feels like this is my DC. Robert was before. Like, I don't know. So it just
Weird.
feels so dumb. But if they're both good movies, if they both are good Batman movies, I guess who cares? Maybe Heath still cares.
I still care, but I think honestly, what I think it's going to do is like create more Batman fatigue. Like,
Yeah.
I think it's like
One
we
of those
just had a
movies is
Batman,
not going to be watched.
and it's not
Yeah.
connected. It's going to be like, I think you're going to have people that really love Superman, the new Superman, and want to go see that new Batman. I think you're going to have people that really love Matt Reeves' Batman, and you're going to go see that. There's probably going to be like definitely a lot of like overlap, but I think those are movie like nerds. Are the masses going to show up for 2 different iterations of Batman so close together? And I think it's just going to confuse people. I think you're going to be like, where's
Where's Rob Pat?
where's Rob Pat?
Yeah.
I think
Where's the Penguin? I watched that TV show. Does that connect with Peacemaker? Oh, it doesn't? They're on the same streaming platform, but they're not connected? Okay.
it's just, I don't know. And I think there's also, I really wish they would. I think there's a lot of things. I personally don't think Rob Pat wants to be in like the new DCU.
No, I don't think so.
But it's also like that tonal thing. That's also what makes Justice League so fun, is that you have Superman, who's this optimistic Boy Scout hero, and then you have Batman, who's like, I've planned how to kill all of you.
Yeah, literally.
Like, you know what I mean? And it's just
That's
like,
what makes it interesting.
like they literally go around the table and it's like, hey, this is how I would defeat all the members of the Justice League, just in case I have to put all of you down.
So watch out.
And it's just like, that's part of it. And I think I felt this a bit in Batman v Superman. I think they tried to kind of show the different tones of those people. In the Marvel movies, I think they did this well. Like, I still think Marvel is a lot closer. We're not talking Batman to Superman, which is, that's the whole point. They're such, not opposites, but they're such different characters. That's why it's
They're
cool to put them together.
they're both good for different reasons from different backgrounds.
Yeah.
Everything about that makes them almost opposed, but going the same direction.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. That's so cool.
Yeah.
Lay into it, like push into that. Yeah. I'm hopeful.
Yeah. And it's like Marvel definitely is a lot closer vibes, like all the same stuff. Even the colors. Let's be honest, all Marvel movies. But even like Guardians of the Galaxy to Iron Man, like those are still they feel different. You know, and I think that's why it's cool that you work it in together. And I think a good Batman movie with the new DCU would be great. I don't know. It bums me out, to be honest. I'm like, as someone who's experiencing extreme Batman fatigue, and I loved Matt Reeves' Batman, the music, the acting, like it was such a good movie. But I'm also like, don't give me another one. I probably wouldn't watch a non-Matt Reeves one, to be honest. I'm just like,
yeah, unless we get a trailer for it that has the reaction that Superman had, because that pumped me up. I was like, okay. Speaking of repeats, Robert Pattinson will be in a very similar situation that he was in with Twilight, and that will probably really irritate him, because with Twilight you were Team Jacob or Team Edward, and the fan base will divide, and you will either be Team Robert, Matt Reeves, or Team James Gunn, whoever he picks. Which is going to be really funny.
He should pick Taylor
Lautner.
Taylor Lautner as the other Batman.
For the meme. That'd be so funny.
Oh man, that would be the best. Like, we're going a different direction. We want to make a unique. So like, we're gonna Taylor Lautner. So yeah, let's chip it right now. I will totally watch a Taylor Lautner Batman just so they can be Team Jacob or Team
Edward.
No, man. That is so funny.
All right.
So the Mandalorian trailer came out. That's a transition. We have a full video on our reaction to that. And it's fun. It's just a little short video. But I've gone back and forth, because my biggest detractor from this Mandalorian trailer is it just looks like another season of Mando. It looks like season 4. But at the same time, I'm excited to go see Star Wars in theater. I'm hoping it's a theater experience. And I think season 3 of Mando, there was a good movie in there. If they'd kept it to like a 2-hour, like all the content they had, if they put it together in a really well cut 2-hour, 2.5-hour movie. So I'm excited for this movie for sure. And Star Wars in the theater, that's why I show up. So I don't know. How are you feeling?
Butt will be in that seat.
My butt will be in
Star Wars in the theater. My butt will be there.
Butt will be there. I've never. Today, I have not missed a Star Wars movie since episode 2, Attack of the Clones, 2002.
Wow. Did you miss Phantom Menace because you were graduating from college?
Yes, I was. It was during my my doctorate dissertation. So
defense. Wow. Was it your second or your third doctorate?
My fourth, actually.
Oh no!
Yeah, man. May the fourth be with.
Sorry, I forgot about that. I wasn't alive yet. I was born in 2010.
Also, no, you'll love
15 years old.
I wasn't allowed to watch it during Phantom Menace.
Oh yeah,
violent. Yeah. So then, since then, I watched the Clone Wars movie. I will be there. It says Star Wars. I will be there, and Star Wars. I'm still such a Star Wars fan that bad Star Wars is still more fun than a lot of other stuff to me. So
it's true. It's true. It is a lot more fun.
I'm here for it. As long as it's not boring, right? I think that's the worst thing that Star Wars can be, is like if it's boring Star Wars, but it's like, it can be cheesy, it can be over the top. Give me some awesome visuals, make it fun. I'm there. And I think that's definitely what we're going to get from this.
I agree. I'm interested to, I'm going to be there, which is interesting that I still want to be sold on it. So whether or not I'll be excited is determined by if we get an actual trailer, because that was not a trailer, that was a little teaser sneak peek.
Yeah,
they call it a trailer. Tell me more about the story and why a movie is necessary, and I'll get excited. I'll get really pumped. and we'll talk about it online, and it'll be really, really fun time to engage with the community, the Star Wars community, in a positive way.
Yeah.
If there's a story worth telling, I believe that Dave Filoni does that. I think that he has something to tell because that's his track record.
This is
But I haven't seen
Jon
anything.
Favreau.
Jon Favreau's directing.
Yeah.
Dave Filoni is like in charge of the Grogu Mando like whole story. So he did like Rebels and Clone Wars stuff, and then moved into the Mandalorian TV show. So I'm not sure what his title is. He's no Kathleen Kennedy in Lucasfilm. He should be. But
yeah, I think he's over animation. But yeah, so this, just to clarify though, that Jon Favreau is the one that started The Mandalorian and all that stuff.
Mhm.
He spearheaded all that. And he is directing the new movie.
Yes. Is Dave Filoni is not involved at all? Is that what you're telling me?
He's one of the writers.
Okay, yeah. That's great. That's what we need.
But here's the issue. George Lucas is also listed as one of the writers.
Wow.
Which I feel like that just means like
Grandpa back in here. Wait.
Yeah. I think it's just characters as, you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
So I don't know. It says it was written by Jon Favreau, Dave Filoni, and George Lucas. So I don't know how much Dave was involved. But I just wanted to so we're on the same page with that. So which to me, I'm like, Jon Favreau is a great director. So I'm all on board with that for sure. Yeah, I think you're right. I think I'm definitely going to be there. It's Star Wars. I love The Mandalorian. I really love season 1 and 2. I love 2 episodes in the Book of Boba Fett. And I loved a lot of, I loved a couple. I loved Book of Boba Fett, perfect Star Wars opening. Seeing Boba Fett crawl out of the Sarlacc pit, dream come true. And the ending episode was great. Our 2 episodes of Mando that we got during the Book of Boba Fett, where Boba Fett wasn't even in it, so weird, but they're perfect episodes. It's just like, that's what I want too from a Star Wars TV show. Like, hey, the Mandalorian's like going to confront some issues with this special sword, and he's going to fix up a spaceship and test fly it, and it's awesome. And it's like, that's exactly what I want Star Wars to be.
It is not boring at all.
No, this is not boring. This is not boring at all. So yeah, I'm excited for it. I think you're right though. I think we need story to get excited about this. We need a reason that Mando is going on this another adventure. Like, we need some story to get actually excited about this. I was actually more excited about the Ahsoka show from the teaser than I was from this, because Ahsoka had so many moments of, ooh, look at that. Ooh, look at that. Hey, what's that? Oh, and this one's like, it's stuff we've seen before. It looked cool, but there's nothing like, I got to know what that is. To me, it's just a bunch of stuff that we've already seen before.
Yeah. Speaking of Star Wars, have you seen all 2 seasons of Star Wars Visions? / do you like that show?
I'm kind of indifferent. I think it's one of those anthology different director shows. So like, I liked a couple of them, didn't like a few of them.
Pick and choose.
I had the first 2 seasons are already out. Is that correct?
Yep. Season 3 is coming out.
Okay. I've only watched season 1.
Okay. This is the first time that they're breaking from the anthology format, which was a big selling point for me. The fact that I could just sit down and watch like one self-contained, non-canon, really exciting Star Wars story, like a what if, was really cool. So the Ronin from The Duel, Ronin's the character, the episode that he's from is The Duel, is coming back. F is the character from The Village Bride. And Lakara is the 9th Jedi, is coming back from the episode of the 9th Jedi. So we get some story continuations for what are, in my opinion, the best episodes from previous seasons. The Ronin, I think that is episode 1, season 1. That's the black and white Japanese style samurai, like wandering. You see that one?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So we get a continuation of his story, which is sick. I'm really excited about that. There's not a whole lot of information aside from the returning characters yet, but I think it will be what Star Wars should be, which is fun and entertaining. And it's non-canon, so that almost guarantees some crazy, wild stuff is going to happen, right? It'll be, I think, a good watch, a good time.
Yeah, that's really cool. That it can be just something free, and it can be something that's like explores different ideas. You know, I don't like the helicopter saber that we get, but I love it when a show tries something like that. You know, um,
Yeah.
like what's your gun that you love? The blaster, it shoots
Oh,
lightsaber
yeah.
from the
That's
cup.
my favorite lightsaber. Oh, I wish I could remember her name. Oh, it's so embarrassing because it's my favorite one. It was just from that comic release, though. So we've never seen it like in animation or in live action. Um, yeah, it was the lightsaber rifle, wielded by the librarian Jocasta Nu
Ooh,
as she defends the Jedi Temple. She uses it against Darth Vader, which is hilarious. Um, yeah, it's my favorite one.
I love how Jocasta Nu is the character in Attack of the Clones. If it does not appear on our records, it does not exist.
It doesn't
And
exist.
she seems like such like a you know I don't know,
Like
prideful
posh
little
and pious.
yeah,
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 yeah.
posh, such a good way of
Hmm.
saying that. And such like a little, oh, it's not here. But it's so funny because I didn't even realize as a kid that that was supposed to be another Jedi. It makes sense that they're like, oh, well, they're all
Hmm.
Jedis who work there. Just some of them work the library desk, which is funny. But to me, it was so funny because every time she is in other stuff like comic books or the Clone Wars or
Yeah.
she is like this BA like
Dude,
crazy force wielder that doesn't
she's absolutely overpowered.
she should
They need, like, if she was in a video game, they would have to nerf her cannon
yeah.
power. Insane.
Yeah, it's so funny. I don't know why that became a thing, but whenever she's in any other media, she just had this little bit that was just like just an old lady saying they don't have stuff on their records, goes back
Yeah.
and stamps books. Um, it was crazy. It's such a futuristic thing in Star Wars, but she had a physical stamp that she was just stamping these books. So that was weird, but
Oh, I don't remember that.
no, she it's not true.
Oh, okay. I was like, are you kidding?
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
the
the
chief
next
librarian of the Jedi Archives. Anyway, next topic.
next topic,
Enough about Jocasta.
Jocasta Nu. I mean, I want more Jocasta. What can I say? Um, so the next thing I wanted to talk about is there is a John Candy documentary coming out called "I Like Me," and it is going to make me cry. So I'm very
Wow.
excited about it. So it was released at some of the festivals. So it's streaming on October 10th on Amazon Prime.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just John Candy. I Like Me. It's directed by Colin Hanks, Tom Hanks' son, and produced by Ryan Reynolds. And it's got basically everyone that he co-starred with, people in relationships. So there's not been a ton of like background on him. Like we haven't seen like this level of documentary from him. And I'm just
Mm.
really excited. I love John Candy, and he's one of those typical there's like, you got your John Belushi, Chris Farley, John Candy, where these people that like just these big, lovable comedians that
Yeah.
were so good and they died like way too soon. Like
Mhm.
he was like 40s, I believe, when he passed away. And it's just like, man, there was so much there. And I think John Candy to me is really special because you can just tell that he has that heart. It's not a
Mhm.
malicious humor. And I don't know. Do you have any like John Candy like memories? Have you seen a lot of his movies? Are you a fan of stuff?
If this would be embarrassing if I wasn't thinking of the correct person. He's in the back of the freight truck in Home Alone, correct?
Yes.
With the band. I love him. He's cool. He's very funny in Home Alone. In him in Cool Runnings,
Yeah.
legendary. I watched Cool Runnings incessantly as a child. And that was really realistically the only like John Candy exposure that I had. And so it was really, really funny. I totally agree with you. His type of comedy was not deprecating to other people. It was just situational comedy. It was hilarious. The timing, it was amazing. So I'll have to give this a watch. That'd be really great.
Yeah. And I think it's the same thing with like Spielberg movies. Like they're like watching a Spielberg documentary. It's just, it reminds you of how much they've done and how good they are. And it's just fun just to reminisce about some of those movies. Yeah. I mean, I'm totally okay if you say your favorite John Candy movie is Home Alone, because that is so iconic. The polka, lot of Sheboygan, really big in Sheboygan.
A lot of Sheboygan.
I love too that scene too. He's like talking to Kevin's mom, and he's like going off. It's like big city polka. And he just starts talking about his career. Anyway, like you could just the way he trails off and like, hey, I know you need help, but then he starts talking about his music and just it's such a beautiful like, do you need? And then Catherine O'Hara playing opposite him is just it's so good. And then all the car scenes, and he talks about losing his own like leaving his kid at a funeral parlor. He's trying to make her feel better. It's just like, but hey, kids are resilient, after a couple of weeks, he started coming around, started talking again, it was.
It makes me wonder like how much of that stuff was just made up. Like he's just making it up on the spot. So hilarious.
It feels like he's such a genuine actor. It feels like it had to be an ad lib because you can't, how could you read it that naturally? And it's like, I think you probably a bit of both, he has that story so down that he makes it his own story. But yeah, so big fan of John Candy. Yeah, he was Barf in Spaceballs, which we're getting a sequel to.
Yeah, dude. Oh,
Cool Runnings. Probably my favorite John Candy movie is Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, which is where the line "My leg comes from.
That's great. Where's your hand? Between two pillows.
Those aren't pillows.
Those are pillows.
The Great Outdoors with Dan Aykroyd. There's just a lot going on. There's a lot of other stuff too that just like he has a lot of bit parts, kind of like a Chris Farley. Honestly, there's like a lot of movies like Stripes, and he's just not like the main person, but there's a lot going on. But yeah, so big fan of John Candy, and I'm really excited for that documentary. All right. Well, I think that's going to do it for us today. It's so fun being back to our normal episodes. Loved what we did with Alien Earth, but I'm excited to talk about other movies. I think, we want to do a lot of stuff in October, focus on some scary movies and do some, we definitely want to do some Stephen King movie adaptions. And there's just a lot of fun stuff we got coming. So excited to be back.
Yeah, it's going to be really great. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. Thanks for listening. We're back to our regular movie news weekly show. As always, you can find us on Spotify, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, all of these places, wherever you can get podcasts. We are there. We are waiting.
You just quote Optimus Prime.
I think so. I think I did. That's why I got caught up. I was like, why do I know that? We are
what I've done.
Anyway, give us a subscribe, a like, a follow. And if you pop over to our socials, make sure to comment on a video. We love to interact with you there. Talk about whatever the topic is. Heath, ladies and gentlemen, go see a movie.
Go see a movie.